He said the light froze his body before it left a glowing ring behind. Night had already settled over the Johnson farm near Delphos when teenage witness Ronnie Johnson stepped outside to tend sheep. Then he saw it, a bright, mushroom-shaped object, low over the ground, multicolored lights, a vibrating or whirring sound, sometimes described in retellings as similar to machinery. It appeared close, very close. And then, according to Johnson's account, something happened he said he never forgot. He tried to move, and for a moment, he said he couldn't. Temporarily immobilized, frozen, overwhelmed by intense light. And then, the object shot upward. But according to witnesses, the encounter did not end when the craft left. A glowing ring remained on the ground. The reported event occurred on November 2nd, 1971, and became associated with what UFO researchers often classify as a close encounter of the second kind, an event involving alleged physical trace evidence. Johnson's family reportedly came outside soon after and observed the luminous ring. Accounts described the ring as unusually dry, despite surrounding damp soil. Investigators, including trace evidence researcher Ted Phillips, later examined the site. Soil anomalies were reported, including unusual resistance to water penetration and the presence of white fibrous or microbial material discussed in later analysis. Interpretations of those findings have varied. Some researchers treated them as unusual, but unresolved. Others argued natural biological explanations may account for parts of the effect, and there were other reported phenomena. Snow reportedly behaved oddly over portions of the ring. Some vegetation effects were discussed. Johnson's mother reportedly described numbness in her fingers after contact with the area, an often cited but anecdotal claim. Then there is the paralysis claim itself. The paralysis was reported by the witness as temporary immobilization during the encounter. It was not documented as medically verified long-term paralysis. The case drew attention beyond UFO circles. The Selena Journal covered it. Astronomer and UFO consultant J. Allen Hynek later showed interest in the broader case. And decades later, the Delphos ring remained one of the most discussed, alleged trace cases in UFO literature. But contradictions exist. Some descriptions differ on the object's exact size. Sound descriptions vary. The ring's composition has been interpreted in competing ways, and skeptics have long argued unusual soil chemistry, fungus, or environmental processes may explain at least part of what was observed. No consensus explanation ever fully settled the case, and that may be why it endured. Because strip away the labels, UFO, hoax, misidentification, trace case, what remains is something harder to dismiss. A teenage witness made a claim, taken seriously enough to investigate. A ring was documented. Investigators found anomalies. They debated, but did not fully resolve. And one question lingers. Was the paralysis merely a human reaction to shock and brilliant light? Or was Johnson describing an effect caused by something far stranger? Sometimes a mystery survives, not because we know too little, but because the facts we do have refuse to sit comfortably together. And in a Kansas field in 1971, perhaps the glowing ring in the soil was not the strangest thing left behind.